guys, it's Tori, and today I want to tell you guys a story. But first, some setup. So, I consume a lot of different kinds of content on YouTube. In fact, even though I'm an art channel, my most watched genre of channels is actually beauty channels. I love makeup, and I'm starting to get more into skincare too, so I love watching people talk about it. Don't get me wrong, I also love art channels, but since I am one, sometimes I want to get away from it a bit, you know? Anyway though, back in 2015 and 2016 I think, Storytime YouTube channels were super popular. I'm not talking about animated story times either. I'm talking about people sitting in front of a camera telling a story. I used to really like these at the time, until I realized something. Everyone had a stalker, everyone's Uber driver tried to kill them, everyone had a horrible roommate, and I was like, wow, how is everyone having the same experiences? Are they okay? Maybe if their Uber drivers are kidnapping them every ride, they should, stop using their service, but what do I know? Recently I was recounting this to myself, and I thought it was funny, until something daunted on me. No, I never had a stalker. No, my Uber driver never harassed me, but I too had a horrible roommate. I'm one of them. So this is the story of my awful roommate I had while living at college, and let me tell you, she was really weird. Now, in my freshman year of college, I decided I really wanted to live in the dorms. I wanted that feeling of independence away from home, and I thought the experience would be super fun. My college was only about 45 minutes away from my house, too, so if I ever wanted to go back home, it was very easy to get there. I tried to room with a girl I knew from high school that was going to my college, but sadly that fell through. We weren't close or anything, so I wasn't heartbroken. Instead, I let myself be sorted into the randomized roommate pairing system. I figured, hey, this could be fun, and I can make a new best friend from this. Well, no, that's not what happened. We'll get into it. I was very excited to start living at college. It was something totally new to me, and that was exciting. Me and my parents brought all my stuff to the room, and to my surprise, she was already there. She was sitting on her bed with two of her friends, and they all greeted me and were very nice. She even got me a little present, 2 cute little bracelets. I think I still have them to this day. I'm not sure. My drawer is very messy, which I thought were very pretty, but also made me feel like a terrible person for not getting her anything in return. It happens, I guess. We introduced ourselves, and her friends left the room so me and my parents would have an easier time getting my bags in the room and setting everything up. We got my stuff out, the room decorated, and my parents finally said goodbye and left. What I didn't know, however, is that I'd be home almost every single weekend. Yeah, it was that bad. When it was just me and her in the room, it always felt a little awkward. I would try to talk to her, start up conversations, but she would just, when you do that thing where you're answering away, where you're trying to end the conversation quickly, we've all been there. When you really don't want to talk to someone, so you try to reply in a very curt way to hopefully get them to stop talking to you. She was doing that to me for every single conversation I tried to start with her. Talk about cold shoulder. At the time, I didn't think anything of it. I thought, oh, she's just shy. That's all right. I'm sure we'll start talking and making friends in no time. No! The more we started settling into the room, the less she started talking to me. Whenever I left, I would let her know where I was going. Like if I was going to class or something, just out of common courtesy. But if I didn't do that, I wouldn't hear a peep out of her all day. I also tried inviting her to lunch countless times, but she declined my offer every single time. I still didn't think anything was weird here. Again, I thought she was just super shy. So I started laying off a bit. Maybe she'd come to me on her own time, right? I was afraid of being too pushy and making her feel uncomfortable, so I stopped trying so hard. I still let her know whenever I left the room, but that was about it. The first time I started thinking things were weird was when she got sick. I went to my morning class, and when I came back in the afternoon, she was still in bed. When she told me she was sick, I offered to get her anything she needed. Medicine, water, food, anything to make her comfortable I was more than willing to get. She politely declined my offer, and I told her that was fine, feel better, and text me if she decided she needed anything throughout the day. I hung out in the room for about an hour or two before my roulette of classes started for the day. Because I was so busy between going to classes, doing homework, and eating, I didn't get back to the room until evening, say 8 p.m. Well, when I got back to our room, let me tell you what I saw. When I walked back in, I saw 3 of her friends in my room, and I had no idea they were there. For some background information, when we moved in, we signed a roommate contract agreeing on rules for the room. One of the rules was to ask your roommate before inviting over company. If she had asked me first, or even just gave me a heads up, this wouldn't have been an issue. But there were 3 unknown people to me in my room, and when I wasn't expecting them at all. My first thought was, what? Aren't you sick? My second thought was noticing they were touching all of my stuff. 2 of them were sitting on my bed, one was rummaging through my nightstand, and the other one was sitting on my personal computer chair that I brought from home, sitting at my desk, playing with my expensive tablet pen. This angered me, but I didn't make a fuss about it. I politely asked if they could stop touching my things and get off my bed and chair, to which they obliged, but I could tell they were not happy about it. For the rest of the night, I simply sat at my desk at my computer, headphones in, trying to ignore them. They didn't leave until midnight. All right, that was fine. It was one single incident. I asked her if she could just let me know the next time she wanted friends over, and I thought that would be the end of it. No! The longer I started living with her, the more things I started to notice. The biggest thing being she was a complete slob. I kept my half of the room clean. Dirty clothes stayed in a hamper, always folded and put away my laundry, bed made, nothing on the floor, everything in its place. Her half of the room was a disaster. Her hair and random papers were all over the floor, coupled with tons of dirt. She threw her dirty clothes any old place she felt like. She constantly had tons of packages coming for her, and she never got rid of the empty boxes, so those cluttered up the room. Not to mention there was an awful smell coming from her side of the room. So bad that I had to open up windows when she wasn't around to get rid of it. To this day, I still don't know what that was. This was something I never confronted her about, but I wish I did. While this is something I wouldn't put up with now, back then I had the backbone of Jell-O. I just dealt with it. I figured, well, I'm going to be at home every weekend. At least I know my room back there is clean. I can get away from it. This is fine. It wasn't fine. I was just afraid of confronting the person I had to see every day. Actually, after a point, I didn't see her every day. We'll get to that later. Another terrible habit she had was just walking around the room naked. No warning, no asking me if I was comfortable or okay with that. Nothing. One time I looked up from my laptop and saw her standing stark naked directly in front of me, facing me. I'm surprised I didn't get whiplash from putting my head down so fast. Whenever I needed to change my clothes, I would do it while she was either not in the room or I'd go to the bathroom, which was literally 10 steps away from our room. But listen, I know it was her room too, but walking around butt naked without asking your roommate if they're okay with that, I was beyond uncomfortable and was afraid to look anywhere but my laptop during the time she usually decided to take a shower. Oh, let's not get into the fact she would talk for hours on the phone in our room on speakerphone while I was there. I tried to ignore it for the first 2 hours, but it was grating on me so bad as my headphones wouldn't drown it out, as her speakerphone was that loud. And to make this funnier, the first time I asked if she could use headphones, all she did was lower the volume of the speakerphone. Great. Am I a joke to you? I clearly must be for you to blatantly disrespect me to my face. I let it slide that day, but when she did the exact same thing the next day, I asked her again, please use headphones. Once again, she lowered the volume of the speaker, but I had enough balls to point out that wasn't what I asked her to do. She gave me a dirty look and left the room with her phone. Was I in the wrong there? No, right? By the way, did I mention she started completely ignoring my existence by this point? Yeah, all those times I attempted to make friends with her went down the toilet. She would literally not say a word to me all day. I guess that's not entirely true, though. She did talk to me whenever she needed to use my things. Like when she wanted my laptop charger and had it for so long that my own laptop started dying and I needed to ask for it back. Yeah, real good friends we were. In fact, she was so good of a friend to me that when she had an early class and I did it, she'd set a super loud alarm, and when she left the room to take a shower, she'd leave our door wide open so the lights from the hallway would come in. Meanwhile, all this time, whenever I had to wake up before her, I wouldn't turn any lights on, I'd tiptoe around the damn room to keep quiet, and I'd always make sure to shut the door and gently. Like, come on, dude. Basic decency. I knew I wasn't crazy when I found out the other girls on my floor didn't like her either. Like, some of them said they felt bad for me. They said she was so snobby and rude to them all, and one of them even told me one of the strangest stories I've ever heard. Our floor had a communal bathroom, so all 6 rooms on the floor were to use it. Another girl on my floor needed to use the bathroom, one that had multiple stalls in it and showers, so it shouldn't be a problem for more than one girl to be there at a time, right? No. The girl said she heard my roommate on the phone in the bathroom, and when she tried to push the door open, my roommate held it shut. She held the door shut to the communal bathroom. Excuse me? The girl said she had to ram her body against the door to get it open, and when she did, my roommate gave her the nastiest look and walked out, still on the phone. Like, what the actual hell is that about? Our campus was huge. There were plenty of places outside to go for privacy. Who are you to hold the door shut of the communal bathroom? Here's another good one. Even though she didn't talk to me, one time she just didn't come home. All night. I had no idea where she was. So by this point I didn't like the girl, but this worried me. Where'd she go? Was she okay? I sent a text and got no answer. When she still wasn't home by that evening, I let the RA know about it, and she told me not to worry about it. My text wouldn't get answered until 3 days later. She said, "Oh, sorry, I went to Niagara Falls. I'll be back tomorrow." Niagara Falls is about 10 hours away from the college we went to. So there's the fact that she did that in the middle of a school week, which is honestly hilarious. But what? You went all the way to Niagara Falls, and you couldn't even give me a heads up? I was sitting there stressing about something bad happening to her, and she didn't have the decency to tell me where she was going. Her disappearing acts would become more and more frequent to the point I didn't see her for 2 weeks at a time. And you know what? At this point, it was a good thing. She was so rude to me. She only wanted to know who I was when she wanted my things. Our room was constantly dirty because of her, like, bye. Good riddance. At least I could finally get the smell out of the room. I stopped texting her whenever she disappeared because I just stopped caring. I tried so hard to respect her and be nice to her, but she constantly treated me like trash, so I gave up. For the rest of the school year, she'd vanish for large chunks of time, but she'd always come back, so I knew she was fine. Living in that dorm got way more bearable when she wasn't there, and I really liked having a room to myself. It was fun. This was the experience I was looking for, which is kind of sad because I was excited about having a roommate. Oh well, she sucked. Have you guys ever had a horrible roommate, college or otherwise? Please tell me all about them in the comments. I would love to read them. As always, if you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you liked the video, it'd be super cool if you could hit thumbs up and subscribe, but no pressure. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye now!